Hello, welcome to The Knitting Project. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family and my animals. Today is Sunday the 12th of February 2023 and this is episode 138. Yeah, 138. Welcome if you are a new viewer, welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yeah, this is my podcast all about my crafty week. It's mainly been knitting this week. It's been a bit of a busy week, so I haven't got a huge amount of crafting done. So apologies from the top for the somewhat lack of content this week. I say that every week and it goes to an hour, so I'll try not to waffle on too long about each of the projects you've seen before. I've got a couple of new bits. So this is all about my rolling rotation of whips, which I have 6 whips that I do on a rotation, so that eventually I do get things done. And yeah, I do start getting finished objects, which is really good. So we'll start off with day one, if I can find it. So they're all behind me. I need to go grab them. So day one is socks, and my new cast on. It's not a new cast on at all, but I'll explain that in a minute. New to this year's podcast is hanging out in my Elderflower Stitches bag, and is a whip from last year that I have picked up to carry on with. So as I said, it's hanging out in my lovely Elderflower Stitches bag. Isn't it pretty? I love her bags. And this is also using Susie, who's Elderflower Stitches, lovely yarn. So that's the label. And this is her Glacé Cherry colourway in Sparkle Sock. And that is the main colour. I'm sorry about the really crazy looking yarn cake. I'm not quite sure what my ball winder did there. It looks a bit like a currant bun, doesn't it? With a cherry on top. Oh, I'm amusing myself way too much here. Anyway, that's the main colour. Such a pretty kind of undyed and pink, flashes of pink, really lovely. And also some kind of really bright raspberry in there. And then that's the mini that goes with it. As I said, it sparkles. Don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it is a sparkle. And last year I had done a Rose City Roller sock. So that's a pattern by, oh no, I've forgotten. Is it Orange Knits, I think? But it's the Rose City Roller. If you Google Rose City Roller knitting pattern, it will come up. And it's got a rolled cuff at the top in the contrast colour, slip stitch heel in the main colour, a rib effect in the middle in the contrast colour, and then a contrast toe. I am really hoping I'm not going to run out of this. I think I've only got the toe left to do in this now, so hopefully I won't, but yeah. But yeah, isn't that lovely? So that's, I finished last year. So when I picked this up, I haven't got a stitch marker on it. Oh, don't know why I didn't put a stitch marker on it. I had a stitch marker. Let me find the stitch marker, because that's just going to annoy me. And I know in here I have plenty of stitch markers. And it's not even stitch markers, not even the word I'm looking for, is it? It's progress keeper. Let's put that lovely little, be a really pretty one. It's a little cup and saucer. Not too sure who it's from. I think I got it with some yarn. Possibly down Sheepy Lane, actually. Right, so there we go. So I was there. I'd done the roll cuff when I picked this back up. I'd also stolen the needles out of this, so I was under the impression that I would need to rip out the rolled cuff and then do it again. But in actual fact, the stitches stayed perfectly, even though I've had the needles out of this for probably 3 or 4 months. And I was able to pick the stitches up, so I didn't have to do the roll hem again. So that's all done. And I've done the slip stitch heel, I've done my garter ridge. Yes, I have. I had done it on that one as well. Garter ridge heel turn, and then I've knit down the foot, done the I did get quite a lot done on this. I was this was Friday, we had a Friday adventure this week, which I'll tell you more about later on. But yeah, I had the sock with me, so, and I'm now just going up the rest of the foot before I do the toe, so that's exciting. So I might have a nice lovely pair of shorty socks ready for spring very soon, maybe even next, so that'll be Thursday next week, but it's not brownies because we're on half term, so maybe I might get that finished, you never know. Which is exciting. I've got a couple of shorty sock whips that I want to try and look out and get finished before I try and cast on too many new socks. But yeah, love this. So that's my day one socks. As I said, we had a Friday adventure, and there was a lot of car knitting because we went to Kent, which it was probably about an hour away from here where we went. And I did get some car knitting done, so that's day one socks. So day two was baby knits, and I have finished the little baby life ring socks. So that's one, that's the other. These are funny, they won't stay kind of neat and tidy. So we have two socks, two little socks, and this is a pattern by Cat Bordy. It's a free pattern. If you again Google baby life ring socks by Cat Bordy, they do come up. And yeah, I'm going to try, Ira's coming over later on today. I'm going to pop these on her feet and try to get a little foot photo for you to insert into the podcast, which I love. So I then moved baby knitting from day two. I've taken that off for the moment because yesterday when it was baby knit day and I could cast on something new, I had cast on paralysis, couldn't decide what I wanted to cast on, couldn't decide what yarn I had a bit of a meltdown, and decided that I'm going to, for the moment, move my goose egg quilt into that slot. So it's going to be baby knitting / goose egg quilt. So if I ever get caught up on the goose egg quilt, I may pop baby knitting in with it on the days that I haven't got the goose egg quilt. I may pop this into something else if I get something else finished, but this is also living in an Out of Flower Stitches bag. And as you know, I had a few issues with my goose egg quilt because I'm silly, and thanks to a couple of dear friends I have now sorted my life out and we're back on track. So I don't need any yarn out because it's not attached. So this is the main colour I'm using, which is this beautiful kind of minty green. It's not quite as green as it's coming up on my screen, but hopefully when I look it back it's not too bad. There's this purple, which is that one, and there is this beautiful yellow. And right, so that's the one I mucked up, and I am repurposing the yarn from this back into the goose egg quilt, but until I get a yellow triangle I can't do it anymore because I need to undo this one first. So that's just sort of sitting there as a reminder of how silly I am, and this is so much better. So this is how it's supposed to look. And since you last saw this, I got this triangle done, which is not much, I admit, but that's why I've popped it into day two, to see whether I can get caught up on this so I don't fall too far behind. Otherwise, oh, you know what I'm like, I won't do it. I mean, certainly the smaller triangles I can probably do as like a triangle a morning once I finish my daily blanket, but these big triangles I don't think I'd have enough time. I did finish that yesterday. I love that purple colour. So this is looking much better. It's nowhere near as tight or floppy or anything else. I'm using 2.5mm needles. The pattern calls for 3mm, but I like my gauge on 2.5. Yeah, let's see, that's going to block out so much better. This is a yarn set from Lay Family Yarn. And yeah, this is the Goose Eggs Quilt Club month 1. I have month 2. I'm assuming month 3 is going to be released very shortly, so I have a feeling I'm about to get very behind. I am using my very helpful Lorette Crafts UK it's not a gauge, is it? Tracker. It's a colour tracker. It says on it. So that's colour 1, that's colour 2, and then I put the main colour as colour 3. So that's contrast colour 1, contrast colour 2, and then yeah, number 3 is just my main colour. So I don't have to keep looking up which one's which. Not that that's a problem right now, because I'm just replicating what I've already made, but hey, eventually it might be, you never know. I might get a bit further. So yeah, I'm using my signature needles, because it is a very special project and I do love it. I love it more now that I've got it, it's not looking like that, and I've got it sorted. It is, however, something I want to work on all the time, which is a little bit of a problem when you're trying to do a rolling rotation of whips. I get to day 2 or get to pick this up and I'm like, oh, I just want to work on this. Right, so that's day 2, baby knitting / goose egg quilt. So day 3 is garment knitting, and I'm really sorry it's still the Perec. Oh dear, this thing is taking me forever. It's living in a Donna Designs bag, which has got beautiful little flower fairies on. I do love this bag. But, oh, this bag, honestly. Here we go again. I mean, I've not got much of this left now, and my aim is to use this up. So it is getting smaller. That's the lace weight. That is getting smaller too, but I somehow think I get to have a lot of this left compared to this. So this is both Lay Family Yarn. It was a set that I bought from Kelly when I was on the Willay retreat. And this is Foof. This is lace weight. This is the Perec vest. Oh, and there was me thinking this was going to be a quick knit. I don't know why it's taking me so long. Yeah. So that's as far as I've got. This week's progress is probably the same as every other week. I thought I'd actually made a bit more progress on this week, but to be honest, it's there to there, so probably not. Maybe I'll use, I'm sure I've got a stitch, I've got a stitch marker lurking there. Let me take that one off, put that one around there, and put that one there. And maybe we can see then if my progress this week is better. Today is day 3, so it's a Sunday, so it's not going to get a lot of love today, because by the time I've recorded this, I'm going to be editing it and cooking a roast dinner. And then Kate is coming over with Dan and Ira, and we're walking the dogs later, so I can't imagine I'll get an awful lot of time on this. Maybe this evening I will. But yes, this is the Perec vest. I can't remember who it's by, and I have not got the pattern, so I've had a couple of goes at this. The Perec is spelt P-E-R-E-C. If you Google it, Perec vest knitting pattern, hopefully it will come up. Yeah, I feel awful. I don't actually know who it's by. Oh, now I've tangled my yarn. Oh, this is going well. Don't you just love it when your yarn gets stuck in your zip? There we go, sorted. So yeah, that's day 3 garment day. We won't dwell on that because you've seen that numerous times now. Let's move to day 4. So day 4 is gift knitting, and it's hanging out in another Round Flower Stitches bag. I think this is the first one I got. I've loved this bag. I think it is my favourite bag. I do like her round bottom bags. Oh, I love this bag. Right, so this is gift knitting, and this actually has a pattern with it. It's not supposed to have, but I didn't put the pattern away when I'd finished with it, so it's still out, and it is the did I not print out? I did print out the title picture. There we go. It's the Little Rabbits bag by Jules Hill, who is So Sweet Violet. And this is a little bag I am making for a friend for her birthday. And I was literally like, where's the knitting? But it's gone in here. I put it in here for some bizarre reason. Oh, way to make life difficult for myself on the podcast. Why did I do that? So yeah, sorry, I'm making this for a friend for her birthday, and I'm going to fill it with a few little bits and pieces that I've bought for her over the last few weeks. And it would appear I was there last week, and that's as far as I've got. My friend likes bright colours, so I'm going for kind of brights and neons, although it has got a bit paler here, and then this is a really pale colour. I really like this though. It's sort of a dark egg green with flashes of other colours in it. So yeah, that's as far as I've got. I'm doing 7 minis, so I've done 1, 2, 3, this is number mini 4, and then this will be done. And then the other thing I've made her is blocking as we speak, but I've not shown that on the podcast because I want that to be a complete surprise, because she's probably guessing it's her. So that will go off to her with this, and then hopefully it'll dry later on today. I was hoping to dry it outside, but we haven't got a very nice day today. Yeah, so I'm using 2.5mm needles, and I'm using Licky wooden needles, and I'm really enjoying it on this project as well. I love those needles. I was going to have so many ends to sew in at some point with all of the projects I'm doing. I am a willing end weaver. I do enjoy doing it, but there are a lot of ends to weave in on one of my projects. Not this one, a different one. Yeah, so that's as far as I've got. I'm going to fill it, as I said, fill it with some little goodies. I've got another handmade object that I will take a photograph of and show it on the podcast after I've got this off to her, and I know she's got it. So that's day 4. Let's not leave the pattern out. Let's put the pattern in, seeing as we've not put the pattern away yet. That's day 4 gift knitting. Day 5. So day 5 is still my socks for Charlie. A little bit of a confession on these. I have started grabbing these as my grab and go project if I have to leave in a hurry. So they have possibly had a little bit more work on than maybe they would have done. As I said, just because I have been known to grab them and go. Got the next yarn. has tangled itself around the socks. Right, you go in there, behave yourself. Right, so this is Woolly Goodness Skating with Penguins, which is part of her Grinbad collection. It's really pretty. It's sparkly, if you can see the sparkles, which you probably can't because my lighting today is awful. And it's got this contrast mini with it. I finished the first sock, which you have seen. I have not sewn my ends in yet. I like how it's sort of micro-striped. And then I am on, so last week when you saw this, I had just done a cuff. So I have now done the leg, it's only a shorty, and I am going down the heel flap. I don't think I'm at the heel yet. I'm still just going down the heel flap. So I did manage to get some of this done. So, gosh, was that Monday this week? Excuse me, wait, let me look stuff up. Wow, that feels like a year ago, but on Monday this week we went to East Surrey Hospital with Meg's arm, and I took this hospital knitting, which is why I did actually make a little bit of progress on this. Meg's, having not shown anything on her initial x-rays, when we went on Monday it showed a clear healing fracture on her wrist, so they've put her in plaster again for another 2 weeks. Bless her. So she did actually break her arm. Bless her heart. So we keep making the joke now each time she goes out to rehearsal, break a leg but don't do it really. So yeah, so that's these are the socks for Charlie. So Charlie is my middle daughter, and I'm trying to make her a pair of socks a month. I mean, at this rate I will have missed January and February. I'm not doing very well with these. Never mind, we'll get them done. No, I'm not putting unrealistic deadlines on myself now. If I miss, I miss. That's day 5. Day 6. These are the 24 days socks, and are hanging out in a Craft House Magic Robin bag. And these are a pattern by Potter and Bloom. For an advent, hold on, that's just falling off. That's possibly not a good fall off. One of my colour number 14 now doesn't have its number on it, which is slightly worrying. I don't think I'm on 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, that's colour 14. So I've just finished colour 14 actually, so did I just put it away without it? Oh. Well, very possibly, but then it's going to take me a while to find it. I will have to sort that out when I next do this project. So my main skein is some silver from Giddy Yarns, who Helen kindly dyed me some, and yeah, I like that as a contrast with this. And when you last saw it, this one was already around the heel, the gusset decreases, and I have now got, so this one was there on that bit, and I've now got this one round the gusset decreases as well. This is what I mean about the one project that's got a lot of ends to sew in. So I've kind of got the most difficult part of this sock done now. I'm looking forward to just carrying on with the rest of the colours and going up the foot and not getting carried away and making them too long for myself, which I tend to do when it's something like this, when I can get a bit carried away. I nearly did that with my Advent socks, and I suddenly realised if I was like, no, I can't put an extra colour in there, otherwise this foot is going to be way too long. So yeah, they're getting there. They are getting there. I don't think there'll be a finished object next week, just because they are fiddly. They do take me a little while, because you have to wind up the yarn in between each, well, I wind up the yarn in between each one because I haven't pre-wound them all. And then because I'm doing concurrently as well, it does seem to be taking longer because I'm doing one sock and then the other sock. But equally, that's quite useful because it doesn't mean I'm putting the colour down and then picking it up again. It's like, that colour's done, go away. I like it. I love this pattern. It's such a nice pattern. But yeah, taking me a little while, so that's another project you're probably sick of the sight of, if I'm honest. That's the only thing that worries me about the rotation, because I don't get everything done really quickly, so you don't get to see lots of new things. But anyway, that's day 6, Scrappy project day. My blanket that I'm doing each morning is hanging out in my sheepy bag from, or bucket rather, from Kelly, who is my family yarn, and I have dropped that and that has gone for a major walk. This is Woolly Goodness from her Scrappy Blanket Club from 2021, and I love this so much. That's where I was last week, and I am now just going into kind of pinks and purples, which I'm really enjoying. So it's just such lovely colours. So there's some pinks and purples further down. It starts off in a purpley pink bit, and then yeah, it's going back into it here from these kind of vibrant yellows, and even that brown's pops. So yeah, so pretty. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's a really relaxing knit. This is the Habitation Throw by Curious Handmade. I love it so much. It's such a relaxing knit. You don't really need to follow the pattern. I tend to follow the pattern on the eyelet rows, especially on the decrease row, because I tend to forget what I'm doing. When at the very beginning you have to do some finagling with the decrease on the actual eyelet row, and if I don't look that up I get it wrong. So I look that up, but otherwise you just count your garter ridges to know when your next eyelet row is, so you can just knit, 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 knit. It's really soothing first thing in the morning just to work on this. I mean, I'm hoping that at some point I am going to get this done, because the rows should get quicker. I can only do really 2 rows at the moment in the morning, but I'm expecting that I'll get up to 4 or even 6 when it gets really much, you know, more decreased. I'm thinking that once this is done, then I will probably put the goose egg quilt into my morning ritual. If not, I will be doing my hedgerow yarns square a day, because that's a possibility too. So I love that blanket so much, and it's because spring is coming. It's a blanket that's calling to me. I am trying to tell it to be quiet till I get this one at least finished. That's my current mini had gone for a little. This is Sparkle too. It's all about the sparkle yarn at the moment, isn't it? So this is Sparkle too. Don't focus on me, focus on the yarn. There we go. Can we sparkle, please? Little bit of sparkle there. Yeah, because it's spring, that blanket is really calling to me, and I'm like, no, I've got too many blankets on the go at the moment. I need you to be quiet until such time as I get this one done. And I'm trying really hard. Am I trying that hard? Thinking about it? I'm trying really hard not to cast on any more blankets, she says, having cast on the goose egg quilt. Because that's not a blanket, is it? It's a quilt. Oh, delusional much. Seriously, what a silly thing. Anyway, that's it for knitting today. I've got one tiny piece of, well, actually it's quite a big bit of happy mail, but I've only got one. And then I was going to show you my junk journal, which is over there, so I shall grab that in a moment. I'll do that now, and then it's just what we've been up to. Goodness me, by the size of this, I actually need to get on with some junk journaling. So in here is a big load of stuff I want to put in my junk journal. That is my junk journal. Let's move that to one side. So I've got loads of bits and pieces in here I want to put in my junk journal. Be it, I've got the wren from Sherry Iris. I've got a Christmas card I want to keep. I've got some very pretty tissue paper I loved with washi tape on it. I've got that was from the washi tape I bought. This is a swatch card from my D-stash, which I don't really think I'm going to put in there. I think that's going to go in my craft journal. I may have just thrown it in here. Apparently I didn't do any of my Kinky Boots page from when Meg was in Kinky Beach because I found the ticket and the programme. So I want to do a Kinky Boots page. I've got my Silverstone bracelet that I haven't put in. There's 3 days until Christmas, so I thought I'd put that on the Christmas card page. I think I've got a couple of Christmas cards I want to put in here. I think I've managed to find 2 out of 3 of my daughter's Christmas cards, which is slightly worrying. I've got like things like that going. So I need some. That's my little box of things I need to put in there, which I've not done yet. And then this is my giant book that I'm using as my junk journal. This is from Amazon. It is, does it say what it's, who the maker is? Oh yeah, I'd forgotten how I was doing this. I need to get on with this. It doesn't say who it's by at all, which is really helpful, but it was on Amazon. So it's got a content page at the beginning, which I actually need to start putting in. And then what I've done is I've got stickers that have a date, so that's like the 1st, and that says hello January, so that's January the 1st. So that was the sticker page. I decided just to fill up with stickers. Then again on the 2nd I just decided I was going to play with these prompts. On the 3rd I didn't do much at all, I just did a couple of things. The 4th I've got, so this is where, so it's the 4th, so the idea was I was supposed to junk journal every day. I have not done that, but it's just anything that I've found. That's a Christmas card from our friends who've got the Waterford balloon, and because they live in Ireland, their stamp that went with it. So the idea is, that's a very special envelope from a friend, a dear friend, who sent me a Nana card when Ira was born, which is on the 6th of January. Then this is an amazing map that Meg drew. She's really into drawing these maps at the moment. She absolutely loves it, and I was really intrigued by her one, so she made me one, so I've popped that in here. So things like this, which is West Green Loft Yarns, where Vicky's written a lovely little message on the back. It's my Tilly Flop stuff. And that's a little card from Jules, So Sweet Violet, that's in here. Then we've got the Elderflower Stitches Club stuff. My plan is to decorate these pages more with washi tape and things. When I'm really feeling like I just want to play, I can put it in. Then we've got a Woolly Goodness page. That's bits I've picked up from my blanket that I've had out of the boxes. I've got a Merry Christmas page there. And then that's a lovely drawing from Sherry Iris. Again, I've got another Christmas page. These are just cards I particularly liked. Just found the third card from the third daughter. It went in there. Got some Christmas stickers I found that I've just stuck in around it. So you get the idea. That was the very cheesy card my husband bought me. So I've got up to the 21st of January in here, so I need to carry on. I don't know if this is actually 365 days. It might be. So I need to add on a few more bits and pieces to carry it on. But again, as I said, I'm going to decorate these pages a little bit more with stickers and things when I'm in the mood. And now looking through it, I'm really in the mood to do it. That's so funny. I just wanted to share it with you and then kind of inspired myself. That's cool. Yeah, so that's my junk journal, and it's just looking like that at the moment. I'm really looking forward to playing with that. Have I pre-numbered them all? Yes, I have. So that's where I went wrong. So I stuck all the January numbers in on a single page, and then I realised that I might actually want to use more than one page a day. So now I think I need to stick them in as and when I get to them, basically. But yeah, I'm only on the 21st of January, but I have got a lot of bits I want to add in. So yeah, that's my junk journal. I am very much enjoying it. I'm sorry I can't tell you who it's by. It's off of on Amazon, and it's a soft cover one. Got cough. Yeah, it's a soft colourful one, but I've got no idea who it's by. If you really want to know, put a comment down below and I will look it up for you. But yeah, I've got a lot I need to add into my junk journal. Drink of water. We're on water today, not coffee. Right, so Happy Mail. One of our lovely podcast viewers, hello, has been having a D-stash, and I've now stopped looking at her D-stash page because I keep buying things. And she was D-stashing the Castleview Yarns Advent from 2021, and it's a DK. And I'm very much in love with my Habitation throw at the moment, and it occurs to me it would be so nice to have a DK one. And this is a rainbow, and it's a beautiful rainbow. And they've got such great names, Watermelon Cooler, and I love how vivid it is. That's the 9th. So you can see they kind of fade into each other. They're quite contrasty actually. That's the 7th. And yeah, I really love them. I really love the colours. I loved how she'd laid it out. It is so pretty. I just thought, oh, it makes such a nice Habitation throw. And something really squishy like 4.5. Actually, I think I'm using 4.5 meter needles on my fingering weight one, so it needs to be a bit more than that, probably 5.5, even 6. I have to see what gauge I get on it. Yeah, I love that. So I've bought that one, and now I need to slow down on buying yarn. I have some clubs coming. I think I have a West Green Loft yarn one coming. I've got a Woolly Goodness. I've bought her Pastel and Pops monthly club for February. I haven't seen January's yet. I need to try and look back on her Instagram or see. I'm thinking I might try and get the January one. See if I can speak to Jenny really nicely and see if I can get the January one. I wasn't going to do it, but I'm so in love with that blanket that I'm like, oh, actually I would really like Jenny's club again this year. I haven't really settled on a club other than the goose egg quilt. And theoretically I was going to do the Yarniacs club from Kelly of Les Familles Yarn for Charlie's socks, but I'm not sure I am. I've got so much fingering weight yarn that I could make for socks for Charlie, that I should probably shop my stash first. I've got a lot of Lay family yarn that I could shop, so I'm probably not going to do that, but I do want to keep on with the goose egg quilt one. So yeah, I've got that. What else did I order? I've ordered something else recently. Oh, the journal, number 2 journal box from Sherry Iris. So that's it. My basket's very empty this week, unless you want to see my portable charger, which, oh, then again, you know, portable charger that you can charge your phone remotely, and yeah, anyway, I lost mine. I could not find it anywhere, and when we were away in the caravan last weekend, it was actually quite a pain not to have it. I don't know what is going on with this bit of hair. So I gave in yesterday and ordered a new one. It arrived this morning. Gotta love Amazon. And last night, after I'd ordered it, I found my original one. So I've now got 2. I mean, that's no bad thing, is it? But I was just like, typical. Now I find it. Now I've ordered another one. So, vlog footage at the end. We've got Raven's first trip to the sea. So on Friday, we had a Friday adventure. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have picked up on my stories. And she's never been to the seaside. Now, Friday here in the southeast dawned bright, clear and very sunny, and it was a gorgeous day. And we've got lots going on with the house sale and things we've got to do. And Ian and I just decided, you know what, we're going out. Because that's what you do when you've got so much to do, isn't it? In fact, this entire weekend's been a bit like that, which I'll explain in a minute. But so we went out, we took Raven to the sea and had one of our Friday adventures, complete with an M&S picnic. It was amazing. I loved it. And Raven wasn't so keen on the ocean. She's like, what's this? Why is it chasing me? And why can't I drink it? It tastes weird. She made herself very sick in the car on the way home, bless her. We did tell her to stop drinking the seawater each time she tried, but I think it might have been the seaweed she ate, if I'm honest. Labradors, they'll eat anything. So we did that, and then yesterday Ian went flying. It was balloonable here yesterday. It is again today. And I went out with Katie, Charlie and Reese and Nala and Ira and Raven, and we went to Buchan County Park, Country Park. That should be Country Park, Sharon, not County, honestly. Buchan Country Park, and took the dogs out for a run. And honestly, Nala is hysterical. She's like a little deer. She just springs everywhere she goes. She doesn't run, she springs. She just jumps. She's just absolute nutter. Raven's just watching her going, yeah, right, you're on your own there. So she's running around, and I've got footage of both things at the end of this video. So you'll see some footage of the sea, and you'll see some footage in the park yesterday. It was very lovely to be out. And then today, which is Sunday, I am recording this, and then I am going to cook a roast dinner for my family. We had various roast joints in the freezer from Christmas, so I whacked them out yesterday. I'm just going to throw together a roast. It should be quite nice. I'm quite looking forward to it. But yeah, so that's happening. Have I got anything else to fill you in on? I don't think I have. Don't think I've got anything more exciting than I'm cooking a roast and we went out for a couple of days. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm hoping it's not quite as long as some of my other mammoth episodes. I should be back next week. There's no reason why not at the moment. I haven't got anything planned for next Sunday, so Sunday's working quite well in the mornings, just at the moment. I think this used to be my original recording day, wasn't it, when I started the podcast? Maybe I used to record on a Saturday morning, so I had 2 days to edit. That is the only issue, is of course I need to get finished, get this edited and uploaded for it to go up on Sunday. I mean, I'm sure if I'd missed and it didn't go up to Monday, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I like it done on the Sunday. Right, I'm going to stop waffling. I will see you next week. Take care.